Okay, now that we're back. So Instagram has like 5 billion downloads or something. And something that people just figured out earlier today, or yesterday, was their new thing that showed up. So I'm sure if you've been on Instagram today, you might have noticed this. If hopefully it shows up on this. There we go. Yep, that's what I thought. Okay. This on Instagram, if you go over to your messages, this map icon has shown up. So basically what happened was this map, when you click on it, asks for your location information. It asks you to give Instagram your location information. Oh, are you the real Rizzler? Yeah, I accepted your request to talk. I just didn't respond yet. And I don't know what my cheapest knife is. Anyway, basically what happens is it asks for your location information, and once you give it to it, without asking if you want to opt in or anything, it immediately shows your if you have, like, let's say you posted a story, it shows your story on the map. See, it asks for your location services. I have location turned off on my phone, so it, as long as I don't give it the access that it wants, then it doesn't do anything. But all of these people are people that may not know that their exact location is being pinged. I think these are all people that I follow. But like, we're talking, it gets really, really specific. I'm not going to go any further than that, but this happened to everybody. If you accepted the fact that Instagram can use your location and you haven't opted out of this yet, you're on this map. Now, how do you opt out of this? I'm pretty sure you press this, and then there's an option to opt out of it. I don't know, because I have location services turned off on all my phones for reasons like this. This shit shouldn't have happened. They said, you can opt into it if you want to. No, you have to opt out of it. They instantly opted everybody in. It was the worst, not even kidding, the worst rollout of new technology I've seen in a long time. So where do we go from here? Well, you got to complain about it, first of all. You got to... Let's see. First, the very first thing, shut location services off. That's a big deal. Nobody should know where you're at. Nobody on Instagram should need to know where you live or where you're residing at the moment. Now, I think it only shows up if you have a story active, but it gets so close to where you're actually residing that it's scary. So yeah, first shut off location services, then go into there. You can probably turn them back on and then opt out of it, but everybody's automatically opted in. The next thing, go over to the Instagram. It seems like it only shows people that you're following. The problem with that being, I follow 1,004 people, I think, and I have I have what? How many followers do I have on Instagram? 114, 115. And I follow 1,002 people. Those 115 people shouldn't know where I'm at. They shouldn't know where I live. None of this should have happened. Of course, it didn't happen for me, but, for some people it did. For some big people, big controversial people. This is a big deal. Fortunately, it's getting the attention that I think it deserves. A lot of big names have already covered that this happened, but yeah. Anyway, let's drop a knife while we're here. I don't need to keep the taking a leak sign up while we're talking about not taking a leak. I don't know what's up with social media and needing stuff like that. Like, why would you need my driver's license to verify that I'm over 18? I told you I'm over 18. That should be good enough for you. And if I wasn't over 18, it's not your job to police that. You know whose job that is? My parents. If I was under the age of 18, my parents should be paying attention to the shit that I'm watching. I shouldn't be forced to give a company my ID just for them to get a security breach and lose all of that shit. It's unfortunate because I was hoping I was going to talk about the Instagram thing for long enough to make a whole stream about it, but honestly, by the looks of it, that's probably not going to happen. People aren't as curious as I was hoping. I was hoping I'd get like 20 people in here. Instead, I got stuck with 4. I had 5 earlier. I'll admit I had 5 for a while. Obviously, this hasn't hit the YouTube algorithm yet. Yep, I'm stuck with you once again. Speaking of which, how's being sick? Are you done being sick yet? Completely done? Gladly, please do keep the chat going. I'll go until 1:30. It's 1:08. We got 22 minutes. Then the live stream's gonna end. I'm glad to hear that you're not sick anymore. I was waiting for you to tell me that, but On the Ozark what? Oh, is it the blue one? The new blue one that just came out? I never got my hands on it. By the time I found out that it existed, it was sold out around the country. Yeah, I never got my hands on it. Trust me, if I got my hands on it, I would stop carrying the Para 3. Oh, I don't care. God, you're so full of shit. I know you had something that started with an M, but I genuinely don't remember. I don't remember shit. And the only reason I know I had what I had for breakfast this morning was because I have the same thing for breakfast every morning. Gimme paper. Yep, once it showed up. So value, $20 for 14C isn't bad. The question is the heat treat. Aluminum scales, I know they're cheap aluminum. It's cast aluminum. Really, really cheap shit. That's what they're always working with though. I'm giving it the official name, the Whale Out. It was mono. That's what it was that you were talking about. And the reason why I call it the Whale Out is because it's the Walmart bailout. It's the Walmart version of the Benchmade bailout. And it is. Look at the two. It's close enough for me to consider them. Yeah. And somebody else on Reddit called it that, and I'm like, that's clever. I'm using that. I didn't tell him I'm using it, but Tontos suck. Sharpening a Tonto sucks. Yeah, we got value. We got the value meal of Benchmade before we got GTA 6. No, sharpening Tonto's freehand is like the worst. I'll sharpen just about anything else before I sharpen a freehand with a Tonto, because I suck at it. Well, I just answered that question. Right before you asked it, too. But yeah, I would sharpen almost any other blade shape before I'd choose to sharpen a Tonto. And this is what I do to Tontos. Tonto and recurve, yep. I de-Tontoed this. It used to be a Tonto. I think Willie was interested in it. But Willie's broke, so I'm broke too. We're all broke. Now let's see. Jared made a video on it. Or on sharpening Tontos. Yeah. He has significantly more experience in sharpening than I am. Or than I have. And I just hate Tontos. Don't worry, Willie. For the low, low price of $15 plus shipping, You can have it all to yourself. I bought it for, I'm just going to tell you what I bought it for. I bought it for 10, like 1040 or something. I sharpened it. I detontoed it. And then I'm selling it for 15. The transition point in general is difficult. I can't, so I've got what's the one Tonto that I had that I can't detonto for one reason or another? Who said I want what's in your wallet? I need a kidney. A kidney's worth more than a wallet. Okay. So this is a Tonto. I've gotten it sharp. This is sharp, and this is sharp. The transition point is not. Well, hey, I gotta remove it myself and then bring it to the hospital to make money. This is one of those few knives where I would be happy to lose money on it, as long as it's out of my possession. Damn. I guess we're no longer getting designs from Willie. That sucks. Oh well, let's continue with the stream. Yeah, Henry, if you want a Kershaw 16 or 6034T, I hate this thing. It is my least favorite knife in my collection. Speaking of designs, what? Your band. BANNED. Your band. Just for everybody, just so everybody knows, he's timed out for 10 seconds. He's not banned. No bully. I've seen the new Civivi. Yeah, I put you in timeout for 10 seconds. Big whoop. It probably deleted all your previous comments on accident, but yeah, it did. It's not a big deal, though. At least you're not banned. God, there's 2 people in here. Shit, man. I was hoping to get, again, like 20. Go hit this, this thing over here. I want to see what that does to the viewer count. I'm curious. Now, about the new Civivi Guile. Is that what it is? Oh, the wave is popular. Yeah. Yep. It is very easy to open from inside the pocket. Yeah, I don't know who that dude is. I genuinely don't. I know it's a Warncliffe, though. Yeah, I didn't know there were a whole lot of actors that were into so cool. I fixed the sign-in thing. You know what sucks? He designed it for fishing, opening boxes. Yeah. That seems like what every knife is for, so except for the fishing part. Okay, I'll take a look at those in a sec. So this VVGU. Yep. It's a front flipper. Already not interested. That handle reminds me of another knife. Yes and no. But it's a front flipper. We'll see you later, Charlie. Have a good one. So we got about 9 minutes before I end the stream. I'm going to look at posts or the community stuff. Newest. Yeah, you did do an iridium. These don't look terrible though. I see a Civivi Nanner and a folding kitchen knife that I found on Amazon. The only somewhat unique one is this one. The Civivi Nanner, I'll show you that. And then this one is something from Thai EDC on Amazon. Some sort of folding kitchen knife. Nanner. It looks like a banana. Civivi Nanner. Oh, CJRB Nanner. I'm sorry, I was wrong. Here's your design. Just more curvy. This thing's stupid. There's no point in this knife existing. Welcome back, Commander. How's it going? Like, what's this even for? Ooh, look at me. I got... Oh, I can't even make fun of it. It just looks so stupid. Yours does look more practical, but this thing's just stupid. Your blade's a little short, though. The iridium with a better blade shape. Not a spear point. I like it. Now the Thai EDC folding kitchen knife. Images. You're gonna hate this. You're really gonna hate this. It looks so similar. Do I like or use multi-tools? I don't wear a belt, and when I put too much weight in my pants, they start falling down. I can carry up to, let's see, what can I carry? A pound in the right side and a pound in the left side before my pants start falling down. So most multi-tools are a little heavy. A phone is a half a pound. Now, I'm not saying at all that you're trying to take other people's designs. I'm saying that a good design means that multiple people are going to think of the same thing. That's how it is. That's always how it is. Do you think any of my, or I've come up with only designs that don't exist? I've fully 3D modeled designs and then looked around and then found one that looks the exact same. So my phone, the phone that I'm live streaming with, weighs a half pound. The knife that I have in that pocket is typically about 3 to 4 ounces. So that added up right there is 3/4 of a pound. If I put anything else in that pocket, it starts falling down. Now my other pocket is heavier. My other pocket is my wallet, my keys, and another knife. The wallet, keys, and the other knife are actually significantly heavier than you'd think, and I think it weighs about 1.25 pounds. So it all adds up very quick, and I can't put a knife other than on a pocket clip in my right hand pocket without cracking my phone screen. My phone screen protector is covered in cracks and chips all over the whole thing. It looks horrible, but that's what screen protector's for. So yeah, I can only have so much in my pockets. And yes, your originality is great. I found the folding chef knife to be actually really funny because I had that thing in my cart and I was like, I'm never going to use it. So yeah, my offhand, I'm not saying it's funny, I'm saying that it's probably pretty annoying. But I have the same thing happen to me all the time. Every time that I come up with a new design, I have to find something that doesn't look similar, or that looks similar. So this is my offhand carry. I put this in my left hand pocket with my keys. It's been great. Nice and sharp, really good for food. Really, really good for food. And then my current on hand carry is the Para 3. Now, just for a few more minutes before we end the stream, the only reason that chef's knife made sense was because of how far the handle was back. DMT 600 grit and the 1000 side. Yeah, I use the 1000 side mostly, more than the, well, that was interesting. I like lightweight stuff because it pulls my pants down less. For a second there, my candle was smoking. Started to worry I was going to start or set off a fire alarm. Okay. I can show you the difference. Do you want to see the difference between the two? So, for clarification, I want to start off saying my DMT right here is worn out. Okay? This is not a 600 grit stone anymore. It's roughly a 1200. Okay, so the whole thing is just destroyed. But it's a great finishing stone because of how mangled it is. Now, I will gladly grab my Atoma 600 and we'll resharpen one of my Spydercos and I'll show you the difference between the two scratch patterns. One is going to be 1000 grit on one side and then the other side's going to be 600. I'd be more than happy to do that. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to stay up past when I planned on doing it. Not that I'm going to be busy tomorrow, but I'm trying to reset my sleep schedule. That sucks, because people just started showing up. Not that I'm mad about that, but... So this is being shipped. I can't believe somebody actually already bought this. That just blows my mind. Somebody came in here and basically dropped a $200 donation straight to my Cash App and said, give me whatever and use the rest for a giveaway. So apparently we're having another giveaway. And I actually have money for it. I don't care. Oh, don't go to the trouble of sharpening your own shit. I was gonna sharpen it anyway. I need to sharpen it anyway. I mean, seriously, it's dull. It's dull. See, it's dull. You son of a bitch. It's dull. It really is. There's glinting across the whole edge. It's just a Spyderco. It's all good. Yes, I remember the Penguin ordeal. The difference between this and the Penguin, this is 8CR, not D2, and the Penguin was flat. This isn't flat. You should tell Sal Glesser that. I'm sure he'd be more than happy to listen to your feedback. Am I more than happy? I mean, he probably doesn't give a shit, but he's the one that designed them. Okay, so we're going to start off on the 400. Then we'll move up to the 600 on one side and then up to the 1000 on the other. And you guys will get to see the difference between the two. Because I don't think it needs a full... Actually, it probably does need a full reprofile after that. He was disappointed with his Penguin because he got a bad heat treat. And unfortunately, it seems like that's becoming a more common thing. I'll have to talk to him about that, but he's just got really, really bad batches of D2 lately. Mine was great. Honestly, it was hard to sharpen. Okay, cool. So it didn't need reprofiled. It just needed the 400. Just wouldn't what? Because there's a fine line between not getting sharp and just doing horrible. Yeah, my Penguin's one of my favorite knives. It wouldn't take any material off at all. So that's a hard heat treat. And I'd much prefer a hard heat treat over a soft heat treat. So did you want to compare the Atoma to the SATC or the DMT? Because the DMT isn't 600 grit. The Atoma is. Yeah, my Penguin's in D2. What's up, Bonk? Welcome back. So just real quick. This is a 400 grit. Zoom in. So that's a 400 grit finish with chips taken out and everything. Okay, well, we'll compare the two here in just a sec. Oh, you dumb pile. Stop autofocusing. God damn. So we're going to do the 600 grit Atoma and compare it against the 1000 on the SATC. Ooh, did I just stab my box? I did. Autofocusing again. In a review, he said the 1000 grit is close to 400 because mine didn't have any grit contamination. But we will compare the two real quick. Oh my god, the autofocusing is so bullshit. Flip it. Gotta remember to flip it. That's a big deal. We're doing 1000 compared to 600. Can stonewash finish be done on satin or polished finish? Yeah. You can stonewash finish a knife. I can't have... Ooh, I just about started on the 1000 on the other side. We're not doing that. I can't have tissue paper in there, and unless you guys don't want to see the sharpening, I can't have the sharpening off center. So, I've never really looked at the scratch pattern closely to look for grit contamination on my SATC, I'll admit that. I've never specifically been looking for grit contamination. Yeah, their 8CR isn't bad. I don't see any grit contamination at all. The whole edge is just 1000 grit. So let me wipe this off. We'll see you later, Willie. Have a good one. Okay, so we're just going to move that out of the way and put that on top. And then we're going to strop both sides just to get anything left behind off. Very, very light stropping. We're not removing any material. There's no emulsion on this. It's literally just a piece of leather. That's it. Just a little bit of refining the very edge. No material removal. And here we go. Okay. So this side is 1000 grit. This side's 1000 grit. I don't see any large chunks or rips or any deeper cuts. And the deeper cuts would be the result of having grit contamination. Now the other side is 600 grit. That just looks like the tearing that 600 grit does. Now my 1000 grit side is worn in. The 1000 grit on the SATC has been worn in. From the beginning, it was probably more like this right here, which is a non-worn in. Well, it's kind of worn in, 600 grit. And this side right here is 1000. There isn't a huge difference between the two. Again, a 400 grit difference. It's not huge. The big differences are when you start moving up to like 3,000, 7,000, 18,000, 30,000. It's those ridiculously high numbers that start really making a big difference. Yeah, it's perfectly fine the way it is. It's treated me great. It really has. Now, I don't use it as much anymore now that I've got the Atomas. I go from the 140 up to the 600 and then straight over to the DMT. I kind of just skip out on the SATC now because it's the two middle grits compared to what I have, because I start on a 140 and go straight to the 600 instead of doing the 400, and then I skip the 1000 and go straight to what I would assume is around 1200. Yeah, the my Atoma's been great. Both of them have been great. Just real quick, just so you guys know what we're talking about, let me clean the Atoma off a little bit. So that's what the Atoma looks like up close. Those are little hills of diamonds. And up closer, so this is the 600 grit side. The other side is 140 grit, and these chunks are, you can actually see the diamonds. These chunks are big. Really cool stuff. But yeah, I'm always happy to help answer people's questions whenever I can. It's nice having a solid community that appreciates what I think about things, and it's nice to see my opinion changing people's minds a little bit every once in a while. It is very cool under a microscope, I'll agree with that. So now we got to see 600 versus 1000 grit. Now let's move on to this. This stone is old. It's 10 years old, at least. I'll show you that under the microscope as well, just so you guys know what a worn out looking stone looks like. If I can zoom in. And focus. So most of this is nickel. Most of the diamonds have been torn out. Now let's zoom in further. And focus. Yeah. Yep, most of the diamonds are just ripped out of this thing. Yep, chisels are basically just long, flat knives. That's it. So let's compare the 600 to this, what's left of this. It comes in more than 3 stones. No, you cannot have mod. Nice try though. So there's 3 main stones. I think it starts with blue. So there's a coarse, a medium, a fine, and then a very fine. And red is fine. Green is very fine, which we can look at this under the microscope too. I've yet to do that. It's like brand new. I tried using it and it just did not work out for me because it's too small. But yeah, there's blue, green, red. What else? There's multiple DMTs. I know that there's at least one more. But green is extra fine. So you say that. It's supposed to be for touching up on the go, but all it's going to do is create a micro bevel and it's going to be annoying. No, this is a 600 grit finish that we're doing. So we're comparing 600 to whatever's left of the DMT. That tiny burr is what I'm going for. Not for a big burr. Just enough to have it removed. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think DMT is still made in America. Yeah. Marlboro, Michigan, or Massachusetts. I wouldn't know. Honestly, I haven't gotten a new DMT because this one's still fine. Get it? Well, that used to say fine. Somebody 50 years from now is going to find that hilarious. Yeah, Grandpa, you said fine. Ha ha ha, very funny. Ugh, grandkids. Well, I like to trick myself into thinking people show up for the puns, but I doubt they do. So this is what's left of my DMT, or my dad's DMT. Forgot to wipe it off. Good. And this is the 600. Yeah, they both look very similar. Which means maybe it does still have life left in it. Which also means I've been finishing things on a 600 grit. Oh, they look great to me. I thought that was a good looking finish. I'm sure this box would disagree, but I think it looked fine. bit toothy, which is great. That little bit of tooth, ooh, that little bit of tooth on the edge, it probably is pretty coarse. It's 600 grit. It's not a fine, it's not a very, very fine finish. Now I'm sure the Spyderco edge from Spyderco, yeah. We can look at that under the microscope too. Yeah. Just an immaculate Spyderco finish, by the way. It's gray. Well, it's supposed to be gray. The table doesn't help with contrast. It looked kind of brown, but it's gray. This one's Maximate. If I held it, oh, I've got a picture of it up on Facebook. I'll show you here in a sec. God, I need to clean this fucking table. Facebook. Show me my post in... Yes. That's what it looks like. I took this pic while walking. That was terrifying. I've seen people post pictures of their Para 3 in Maximate after they dropped it. Oh. My Grail knife at the moment is a Chris Reeve small Sabenza with the Insingo blade and a glass blasted finish. Yeah, Maximate is very brittle. Yeah, there's plenty of pictures of people that dropped it, just like pulled it out of their pocket and dropped it, and the blade just shattered into a bajillion pieces. Damn, I got excited right there. Fucking Facebook being an asshole. Yeah, this wasn't my Grail knife. I didn't even buy this. Aiden sent it to me. And it's a great knife. I've enjoyed it so far. I've yet to dull it. But I've yet to do anything stupid with it, so... Yeah, I don't see much of a difference there. And mine still has a burr on it. It could be sharper. Damn. It's awesome, dude. He sent me both Atomas, which is great, and and the Maximate Para 3. And the microscope too, yeah. He sent me so much shit. And we have a what's it called? We have a vitrified diamond stone coming in straight from China to try out. And the first thing we're testing it on to break it in is tungsten carbide. And I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to that. So vitrified diamond stones are resin bonded diamond stones, where the resin covers the whole top of it. I don't remember what company it's from. I can check real quick though. The benefits of having my Instagram logged into on this phone. Let's see here. It's a Chieffer cut. Well, this steel is designed, or the Chieffer cut thing is designed for ZDP 189 and S90V, and those steels are known for having high edge retention, high carbides. So I think it'll do just fine. I've thought about reaching out to companies for the freehand assist type stuff, but the more that I think about it, the more I'm like, I don't need help. I do just fine. My edges look great. I just need more practice. Why would I pay for something when I could just do it myself? I'm stuck somewhere between looking forward to sharpening this thing and not wanting to sharpen it. And I wish I could show you guys the beautiful colors that this patina is leaving behind, because it's got some amazing reds and blues that are on the blade up here that you guys just can't see through the camera. Yeah, I will do it myself. You got a point there. That was pretty funny. Fine. I'll do it myself. But I just don't need help. I don't need a company sending me something that helps me sharpen without working for it. I've been teaching myself how to sharpen shit and watching YouTube videos on it for like a year. And you think I'm going to throw all that away with some stupid thing that does it for me? Hell no. And you know who else isn't going to do that? The people that pay me to sharpen shit. So just out of curiosity, how am I supposed to even hold this? Like, how does that look under the microscope? What did that do? Zoom in. Not much. 600 grit. Not much. Okay then. Well, I want to prove that this is doing something. And the only way I can think of doing that is by destroying the edge again. No, I'm not doing that again. What I will instead do is put one side at a 140 grit finish and see what that looks like, and then move straight over to the extra fine finish. And we'll see what that does. And then I'm going to bed. Annoying in terms of knife-related products. Sharpening systems that take no effort and don't do the job. Stuff like, oh, what's the company called? Sharpens Best. You know, the company that I need to start beef with. I need like 5,000 subscribers before I start beef with them. Holy shit. Look at that edge. Those are some deep, deep cuts. So we're moving straight from the 140 grit right here. That was the Atoma 140. And we're moving straight up to the DMT Extra Fine, which should be like 1200 grit or something. What's up, Quinn? How's it going? under the microscope. And I'm doing great. Why do you ask? I'm about to head to bed though. Okay, I see what it did. That sounds horrible for a nickname for a person. That sounds horrible. So one thing I want to try that I didn't really get to try. Now this is a 1200. It's the only 1200 I actually have. So I always wanted to try this because somebody else did it and said that it was interesting. Okay. Smoke fish in Alaska. You have fun with that. Is it still bright up there? Okay. That's wild. It is like pitch black down here. Okay, so one side of this is going to be 140 grit, and the other side is going to be a 1200 grit, which should be really interesting. Thank you for the like. Hopefully you have a great night. Okay, back to the 140. Now we got to go for burr removal. This is really hard to do with low grit edges for me. Okay, 1200 again. Okay, now, where'd my strap go? There it is. Okay. How's it looking? So one side is a 1200 grit, the other side is a 140. So let's go ahead and zoom in and take a look at this 1000 or 1200 grit. Doesn't look great for 1200. Or is this this is the 1200 grit. Okay. So this is 1200 grit. This side is 140. And it's obvious with those giant grooves cut out. Yep. So it's got a burr still, but it's not terrible. So I'm thinking if I cut a piece of cardboard, it might just come off. That is a weird feeling. Smooth but toothy at the same time. And the burr is still there. Chat is probably broken again. It does sound different with different edges. It's because of the way it cuts. That sounds toothy. But we haven't fully removed the burr. Is there anything I don't mind scratching the shit out of? Oh, that's right. Just take my Spyderco, my Rex, or not Rex 121, my Maximate Spyderco, and people are going to hate me for this. And there we go. Like, no, you're scratching your Para 3. No, I'm not. You'd be hard pressed to find 8CR leaving a mark on Maximate. This is doing nothing to the Para 3. I think this is like 68, and this is probably 60. It's 140 grit. It is very, very aggressive. It is a reprofiling stone specifically. So what does that do when I do that? Oh yeah, no. This wouldn't leave a scratch on that, but I'm pretty sure... Oh, this will be interesting. You guys want to see something cool? We're going to test something. I'm going to feel horrible doing this. Oh, that dug in so deep. I didn't even push. that line right there. So it's not, what, is there another knife I'm never going to get rid of? Because I want to show you guys just how hard this shit is. See, it's not just the question of what knife I'm never going to get rid of. It's what knife am I never going to get rid of and don't mind scratching the shit out of. And I can't think of anything. Yes, I can. D2. Oh, the tip is fine. This is kind of how they come. It's like this. The tip isn't broken off or anything. It's sharp and pointy and it works great. Okay. Bead blasted finish. D2. At what I'm going to assume is probably 58 HRC. Yep. It never was very pointy. So yeah, it'll scratch the shit out of D2. That other stuff that I got. Damn it, why do I always lose my knives? Ooh, probably because your table is a fucking disaster. No way. Thanks, shit talking myself, me. Oh. Yep. Okay. Tungsten carbide. I think those are Mohs hardness scale, not tungsten, or not a... Oh, damn. Holy shit. That is way different. You can see the difference. Maximate, tungsten carbide. That's... You can't feel it, but it ripped the finish off. Well, now I've got another question. Yep. Just the spine will rip the finish off. 71 HRC versus the 69, or what I assume is around 69. Yeah. That's wild. For anyone curious, the tip on this thing's fine. That didn't do anything. And for some reason, it has a weird edge. Like, it doesn't like cutting paper properly, but it loves cutting cardboard. It just doesn't like paper. Oh, I'll be sharpening it. I'll make a big spectacle out of it too. It's going to be a big deal when it happens. I'm gonna set off or set aside like 5 hours for a live stream to sharpen it. I don't expect it to take that long though. It's kind of the same thing as this. When I have to sharpen this, it's gonna be a big deal. Anyway, that's gonna be it for today's stream. I streamed for about an hour longer than I planned to, which isn't really a good thing, but you know, it's 2:26, and I'm just gonna go straight to bed after this. Yeah, I didn't expect it to scratch that well. But real quick before we end the stream, we're gonna go ahead and clean up the table a little bit, so that when I come down tomorrow morning, you can continue asking questions while I clean up. I've got to put shit away, and then I'll be ending the stream. Write a message for myself in the morning. Yeah, that was weird for somebody to just show up in the stream and basically give me $200 for a knife. And the dude didn't even want the knife. Because you showed the Sandrin, would you say the Sandrin has the ultimate edge retention? I don't know. I didn't get to test it. Unfortunately, what happened was I received a bubble mailer from Kershaw, and I opened it with the Sandrin 3 days into the live. No. Or 3 days into the review, and I like destroyed the edge on that thing. But I just realized, like, both the Torinos that I've owned, I had to stop testing after the 3rd day. I was forced to stop carrying it after the 3rd day. I was hoping that it had the best edge retention, yeah. It's going to be hard to beat. It's not steel. Oh, the tungsten carbide's way harder than K390. Yeah, both times I was forced to stop testing because the first one, the lock failed. The second one, 3 days in, I opened a package from Kershaw, and while cutting the package open, the whole edge just got ripped off by a pocket clip that was sitting there in the way. I can't describe to you how pissed off I was when that happened. But it was my fault for opening the package the way I usually do. I've never had that happen before. But what do you do? I wanted to test it. I really did. I just didn't get the chance. So now I have to sharpen it, and then we'll be testing it again. Tomorrow's Friday. I've got time tomorrow. Yep, it just... Oh. I'll show you what it did. It was this pocket clip. The front's perfectly fine. The back of it, one cut, destroyed the edge of that knife. I've never messed with S110V. That line right there was the Sandrin having its whole edge ripped off from this being in the way. Just my luck that when I get nice shit and it breaks every single fucking time. On the third day, both times. And I'll be honest, if I'm going to mess with high edge retention steels, I don't think that I want them to be stainless. And my reasoning behind that is I want some toughness. Yeah, you need the same shit for Maximit too. Maximit's harder than, or higher carbides than S110. I think. S110V. 9% vanadium, yeah. So it's a stainless. Relatively new steel developed in 2005. Was replaced with S125V. Holy shit. Yeah, S125V is the way to go. That's some wild shit. I'm gonna look at this and then I'm going to bed. TACRAY. Do you think I should send them a message? Yeah, S110 is an 8 in edge retention, but a 3 in toughness. S125 is a 2.5 in toughness and a 9.5 in edge retention. I'll talk to them. TACRAY. Let me look them up real quick. See if they'd be interested in possibly sending me some shit. Oh, I saw this thing show up. I think I saw it on Neves Knives. God, I really don't like reaching out to companies that were just exhibited by large YouTubers. And my reasoning behind that is they have everybody reaching out to them at the same time. I'll be honest, I'm more interested in their other stuff. A ZDP 189 is not just using chef knives. Yeah, this is the one that I'm looking at. It's also in ZDP 189, and I've never messed with that stuff either. But it's 159 for that. I'll reach out. Let me put them in the good old book of people that won't respond to me ever. I mean, companies to reach out to. TACRAY. Well, we'll see what they think. See if they'd be willing to send me anything. I doubt it, but you never know. Sometimes you get lucky. Yeah, Bees Blades covered it. That dude covered it. And it's a Tonto. I really don't like Tontos. I really don't like Tontos. Oh yeah. No, they're horrible. They're the reason I don't work with them is because of that. Black DLC. Dude, a DLC coded version of the one I was just looking at. Shit, dude, if I could get them to send me one of those. Oh. But yeah, I'm not interested in now that might just be a me experience, but I highly doubt it. No, their prices aren't bad at all. Another. Oh, who? Oh. Another company that doesn't have horrible pricing is. Oh, come on. I just thought of them, like Katsu. Katsu knives. They have. God, I keep telling you guys I'm going to end the stream and then more interesting shit comes up. And by the time I'm done, it's going to be 4 o'clock in the morning. Lowest price. Okay, so Katsu knives right here. Some of their knives look like shit, like this one. I really don't like this. $50 for D2 isn't terrible, but this G-Mascus scales, D2 blade, leather sheath, it doesn't look terrible. Then trash. Interesting, but trash. Then this. Carbon fiber with 154 cm. Then this thing. I wouldn't buy that. It's AUS 8 for $100. Doesn't make sense. Like, they have a lot of interesting stuff. As much as I'd love to go and ask them for one of these in like ZDP 189, they haven't met me. They don't know anything about any of the stuff that I do on my channel. So I started out asking for this. And we'll see where that goes. I'm hoping it goes well, but they haven't responded to me yet. And I reached out. I don't remember when. I think one of my next purchases after the Sebenza is going to be a Spyderco and S30V, because their S30V heat treat is just perfect. It's so perfect. I don't trust Schrade anymore. Somebody offered me 24 for my Rat 1. Yeah, AUS 8 in general is just... Schrade's on the list, but it's not for any of the... I think the lateral's in AUS 8, but the Radic isn't. Okay. I don't know, man. My channel's small. That's that. God. That right there would be the imposter syndrome kicking in. It's the why try. My channel's too small, they're not going to notice me anyway. That's literally what comes to mind. Well, I've got one company that would be happy to work with me, but they stopped responding a little bit ago. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure the rep was on vacation or something, but it would have been nice to know that she was on vacation. You know, because we tend to chat quite a bit. Like, we used to talk like 3 or 4 times a week. Yeah, it was the Jin rep that I'm talking about. Like, I think she went on vacation for like 2 weeks or something, but it would have been nice to know. Yeah, I wanted to release something with them. I don't know, it's gonna take... I'm not sure what it's gonna take. We'll see. I just don't know who I want to work with first. And it's not really the first part that matters to me. I've got the perfect design, but I need to release it with the right company. Yep, they are releasing that in VG10 Damascus, VG10 Core Damascus and they got one in 14C as well. I gotta ask them why they're coming up with new versions of that. They got a I want them focusing on the full-size version. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing to do with their company other than talking to them a lot. But I think that the full-size version of that knife is going to do well. The small ones are great, but the full-size version at like 35 or 40 bucks, if we can get it there, would be amazing. Because something people don't know yet, and I haven't talked a whole lot about it, that full-size version of this knife has a... How long was the blade? I think it's got a 3-inch blade. A 3 to 3.5-inch blade. It's like a solid EDC knife. There's a few things we need to do. One of them being it needs to be released at the right time. Oh, so Instagram, if you have an Instagram account and you share if you share stories on Instagram and you have location turned on your phone, then people know where you are. There's ways of turning it off. It was a big deal to me, but we'll see. They're selling to the American market. This knife is illegal in the UK. Honestly, they're not selling to people in Europe. They're selling to people in America. Now let's see, the Instagram. Not only did they ban any knife that has a lock is illegal. Okay, so let's... Jesus. I want one of their knives. I should just reach out to them. Honestly, I should. Let's see. If you go to here, this map feature, that map feature says use your location features, allow access to your location on your device. And basically what they do is they show your location on the map, whether you like it or not. You're forcefully opt into this problem, so everybody that follows you knows where you're at, and people just agree to it. Now, to get rid of that, you have to click up here and opt out or whatever, but instead of being opted out and then choosing to opt in, you're opt in and you have to opt out. I remember that zombie knife craze that they were going on about. What a load of bullshit. Whoop-de-doo, it's green. Nobody cares. A green knife is not more scary than a red knife or a black knife. Or purple, or pink, magenta. Nobody cares. I'm not going to look at a bright green knife and say, oh, that's terrifying. Well, here's the other thing that people aren't getting, or that people maybe don't understand. It's not just a multi-billion-dollar company, right? There are... Instagram has been downloaded 5 billion times. Okay. How many active users do you think Instagram has? Because it's probably more than you think. But yeah, I'll talk to Gin Knives about releasing the full size Rhino. I think that full size Rhino is a big deal. Sure, I'll agree with that, but Instagram is so much bigger than Twitter. And they just forced people into this. We got 9 minutes and then I'm ending the stream. It's not going any further past that. At that point, it'll be 3, and I meant to go to bed 2 hours ago. Nope. I already said 9 more minutes, so 9 more minutes. It's not like I'm going to be super busy tomorrow, but I'm supposed to be getting up earlier than I usually do. I'm not looking forward to that. What a night. And then I got a knife show tomorrow. Oh, the fun, the joys, the joys. Maybe Chris will be there. That'd be nice. Maybe I can talk to Chris about stuff. Yes, an axis lock is stronger than a liner lock by quite a bit. Yeah. Well, this thing is sold now. Well, I'm not saying I haven't had issues with Omega Springs. I haven't, but just because I said it's stronger doesn't mean that it has less problems. Being the fact that it's running off Omega Springs, it's just more shit to break. Let's see, how many extra pieces? So, these with the liner lock, or with the axis lock, adds minimum 3 more pieces than a liner lock, 2 of which are known for breaking if treated improperly or if playing with them. Liner locks aren't known for breaking when you play with them. So here's what I'm going to do tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to go to the pawn shop. I'm going to look at the other one of these that they have for sale. If it's in good enough condition, I'm going to buy it. What's going to happen is there's somebody that follows me that wanted this knife. I'm going to offer somebody who just offered me $24 for this to buy the other one for $24. I will make, hopefully, about $5 in profit. And I think that that's perfectly fair. So that way, the other person still has that as an option, and I still make money. And I don't think I wanted 24 for it. I wanted like 25 minimum. But somebody else already said that they wanted it, and I'm going to try to do the best I can to make sure that they get it. Here's what I do. I charge knives, or I price knives at a price where people can't turn around and sell it for a profit. It's a good price for the end user, right? If you were going to be an end user, if you bought it to keep it, it's a good price. If you bought it to sell it, you're not going to make any money on it. That's the whole plan of why I have them priced the way I do. I have them priced, well, I just explained it. I don't need to explain it again. But yeah, that's why I have them priced the way I do. I think it's fair. Resellers don't, but I don't care. Like the leaks. I fully refurbish them, I replace any parts that need replaced, and I sharpen them, and I charge $35 for an American-made knife. And nobody buys them. That scared the shit out of me. And you know what's wild to me? Like, it's the wildest thing. Everybody... Okay. This knife right here. It's a Kershaw Leek 13C26. Not 14C20N, or 28N. It's 13C26. I have 14 people that have this favorited. And when you have something favorited on Blade Binge, it notifies you when the price goes down. The price isn't going down, it's $35. You're getting a 17-year-old Kershaw Leek that's in great condition. Well, it's in good condition with a warranty on the blade still. Yet, you don't want to put in that $35. I get it. You know what you could probably do? You could probably go look at my Instagram and see, hey, he does have an Instagram. I'll reach out to him and see if I can buy it directly from him for less. And I will happily sell it to you for less direct. But people just don't want to do that. The market, the fuck? The market could be down at the moment. It probably is, but people are struggling. The average person is struggling to pay rent and get food. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I understand that people want to buy this for less. I can't do that. I mean, with everything that they're getting, everything all together, it's a great deal. Like, somebody reach out to me directly. And I'll sell it. I mean, it's just over half of what they sell for new. And I'm almost willing to bet that if I stuck it up for 30, it would disappear. But that's me losing like $2. It's not a full 5. I'd be losing a little more than 5. Or a little less than 5. Yeah. Brand new, they're 65. I'm selling it for 35. No, late stream. Actually, I'm just about to end it. I appreciate you showing up though, Josh. Not in your state? What do you mean not in your state? I'm going to give you guys a hint. When I hit 1,500 subscribers, things on my Blade Binge are going to go on sale. Well, that's stupid. How much of a sale? I don't know. And I might not even actually say anything's on sale. I might just tell people, go offer me 15% off, and I'll take it. I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking I might just do that, though. The dropout was like $10. Anyway, guys, I have to go to bed now, or else I'm never going to. And then I'm not going to wake up in time to do anything that I want to do tomorrow. So yeah, it was nice talking to you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. Somehow we got 14 likes when talking about all this shit. Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next stream. Appreciate you dropping in, Josh, and have a great one, Henry. For everybody else, have a great morning, evening, night, or whatever it is. See you in the next stream, probably tomorrow. Definitely tomorrow.